is Humble Beginnings, where we simply live it through. And I tell y'all all the time that when I say we simply live it through, all I'm simply saying is that no matter what adversity or diversity we go through, all we can do is walk the path accordingly. That's it. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Good.
Feeling awesome.
Cool. All right, y'all. So the main thing we're gonna talk around is gonna be preferences, and it's gonna be in very several different facets. Oh, let me make sure. All right, when I see Josh, let me pick back up. I'll join back up.
I like the intro too.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know you changed it.
Oh yeah. I had upgraded
Hard though.
I had upgraded it, made it a little more, amp it up for a little bit more, you know.
Yeah, it's hard. I like
Still
that.
make
I
sure
like
the
that
team
better.
and everybody up there showing up on it, you know. So yeah, we're gonna talk about these preferences, right? We're gonna dive into this. Y'all want to dive in real light and then get a little deeper? How y'all want to play? Y'all want to get straight into it?
Let's go straight in.
Yeah, go straight into it. All right. So since we're talking about preferences, right? Let me see what we got up here. Why do people associate necessity with preference? This is also up on the thumbnail too. So let's talk about this. Why do people tend to associate necessity with just their preferences? And this right here is in all facets. Now, this is what we're talking about when it comes to people's jobs, when it comes to their friendships, when it comes to relationships. This is like all over. Like, why do people choose to try to put, you know, when it's just a personal preference they got, but if for some reason they make it seem so necessary? Why y'all think this is? Matty B, I mean, we're gonna start with you, man.
No doubt. I feel like people just done been spoiled by the times we came up in to where they automatically assume that their preferences should automatically, that the necessity stuff should automatically be there, and they focus on the preferences because we're in easier times now. You know, and then a lot of times when they get their preferences, they realize it's a lot of things that they need that ain't actually there, whether it's the job, whether it's the relationship, or any facet of life. So I believe that's the main reason is just that people have been spoiled to where they automatically assume, or maybe they don't even think about it. They just, they don't even think about the stuff that they actually need. They just focus on what they really want about a situation.
Okay. Zach, what you think about that, man? Why do you think people do that? Why do they associate their necessity for their preferences?
I think people want what they want without really realizing what they need. So, you know, best way I can explain that is, you know, I want something, and this person better have it, or they're gone. I think that's the way people see things, and that's the way people feel. I'm not gonna say it's right. I think it's actually wrong.
Okay, you think it's wrong when they do that?
I think so. And why I say that is we need to focus on what we need more than what we actually think we want. Because when we want something, it may not be what we really need. Make sense?
Yeah. Do you think some people they know how to tell the difference?
I think some people do.
Or do you think some people be like, yo, what their preference is, they believe that is what they need?
They can see it that way too.
Okay,
They can see it both ways.
Okay.
But from my perspective, I'm gonna do what.
Big Dave, what you think about that?
All right, so the way I feel about it is I feel like some people may confuse preference with their necessities. You may prefer something, but it may not be exactly what you need. Like a lot of people might prefer a Corvette, but they need a truck. You know what I mean? And I think preference falls more under the category of wants versus needs.
Okay. Chef Joe, what you think about this, man?
I ain't got nothing to add. I agree with all three of these guys.
Okay.
I also think when people are according to what age bracket and what social groups people belong to, because like what you think you need at 20 you may realize once you actually start living real grown, when you actually got bills, got a house, got kids, then you actually realize some of the stuff that you thought you need ain't really what you need. But I think so many people don't even know what they need because there's also a lot of people that are just caught up into what's socially going on around them, and they've seen that everybody else wants this, so that's what they're focusing on, and they're not even thinking about a need. They're like, hey, I'm living, and this is what I want at the time. And they actually get into some real life situations, and they realize, damn, I actually need this. Actually ain't even important, and then they really want their needs. Then their needs actually become their preferences, and they actually start coincide once they actually start having real issues later on.
Somebody who, if y'all, just for everybody, so somebody who living in their preferences, would y'all call them delusional?
In their purpose?
No, living in their preference.
If they live in their preference and they ain't got what they need, then yeah, I would call that delusional.
That's what I was about to say too.
You got some things, but you lacking a lot of other things. So
well, is it delusional if they don't? I mean, is it delusional if I know you said like if they actually lack the stuff they need, but if they actually at that time feel like they living their best life and they don't even care, like would it be delusional? I guess unless they didn't know and they actually are detriment to themselves. But I mean, some people just like they having a good time. They just living in the moment.
Mm-hmm. So you saying that they know it's just a preference. Like they do know there's a reality side to it. Like this might not be this or this is this, but I just prefer to live this way. So I'm gonna continue living this way, even though I know there's another side. That's so you wouldn't call them delusional.
I believe that's. I don't think it's everybody, but I believe that's some people. Because if we look at the birth rates right now, we talk about relationships. We look at the birth rates. The birth rates are down. A lot of people are not having kids to later on in their life, more so than it was before. So if that is the case, if people are not having kids later on in life, that means that they do a lot of women I talk to, they do know that this is something I should do right now because the life they live at that moment is beneficial to do what they're supposed to be doing. Then when they actually get to that point, they'll be like, okay, now I want to actually do things a little differently.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I ain't really got nothing new to add to that concept. Y'all pretty much covered it though. I mean, I think a lot. I always say I think people just do what they want, and I think when people really, because we live in an age now where it's all about how people feel, and if people feel they really want something and that's what they prefer, they're gonna do it anyway. I don't even think what people need even matter as much to people no more.
That's right. And if you look at the social programming, especially that women get, but in general, society gets as a whole now, is that you deserve the baseline. Like you shouldn't have to go without the baseline. So I think most people believe that should automatically be there. Like they deserve the requirements, that they don't even focus on it. You know what I'm saying? Until you actually realize that what's being said, social programming, how life is actually going for you.
That was perfect, man, because you used the word, man, that took me to my next question. What would make a person deserve their preference? What makes somebody feel like they deserve this out of life? Well, it could be a job. It could be that woman, or that woman just feel that man, or which is whatever. He feel I deserve this house. I deserve this car. What makes a person,
deserve it?
What makes this happen? Chef Joe, we're gonna start with you, man. Since you laughing, man. What makes a person feel like this, man?
I mean, sometimes it could be their parents that program their ass like that. like your father took care of me for 30 years. I mean, it's different. It's different times today. But what people deserve? I mean, some people say they work hard for it. They went to school for that specific job. They train for that different position. They say, hell, I deserve it. I work for it.
Okay. Zach, what you think about that, man? What makes a person deserve their preference?
I think what Chef Joe said was perfect. If you work for it, then you deserve it. We ain't entitled to anything in this life. We have to go out there and get it, no matter what. Period.
Okay. Big Dave, what you think about that, man? What makes a person deserve a preference that they have? There's anything in life.
I feel a person that deserves their preferences at times are people who have worked hard to get where they prefer to be in life. At times where we prefer to be versus where we need to be. It can be two completely different scenarios. Kind of like working so much to get to where you prefer to be versus sacrificing time away from where you need to be, as far as if you got families and young kids and stuff like that. Sacrifice time away from your kids' first steps to have a life that you prefer. Like,
or trying to build a better life for them.
Exactly. Like, there's a lot of people that go through that, like guys out there in the military, people that travel on their jobs, people that work multiple jobs and is gone all the time. Like, yeah.
Okay. Millie Matt, man, talk to me, man. What make a person deserve their preferences, man?
I think in a free capitalist society, you don't deserve it until you actually obtain it. As far as just moving around in most aspects of life. Now, I do believe when there's a baseline, there's a precedent set, like in an organized structure, like say example the NBA, when people before you have gotten this because of this concrete thing that we can point to and say everybody before this has gotten this based on this requirement. Then if you're in a situation with a structure and there is a guideline to obtain this, then you should deserve it based on you accomplishing that black and white definition of what it takes to get to this point. Like, what I'm saying, like, say example, they in the NBA or NFL, they beg people, everybody that gets these stats usually get a contract worth 150 to 200 million. Then your numbers will actually show based on the guideline that this is what you deserve. But when most people talk about deserve, they actually don't deserve it because most things aren't that structured. Most things are just what you feeling like because you're a certain person. And it's usually based on what that person values. Like, how are you going to say you deserve something based on what you value if somebody else values something different? Like, you might have somebody feel like they deserve it because they're pretty. That don't mean you deserve everything, but they've seen other people gotten things off of them being pretty. Somebody else may feel like they deserve it off hard work. Who says that hard work should always get you there? Because a lot of people get positions based on likability. Somebody may feel they get their own likability, but that person who actually high end may value something else, may actually value a close relationship. So I mean, it's just based on what you feel at that point. In like I say, in a free capitalistic society. But if you're in a structure, I think it's the precedent set before you.
So you said something. So basically, your layout was basically if it's like a law, pretty much like a law or a rule, then if you put it out like how you said with the team that everybody gets maybe this amount of money or this disadvantage or whatever may have you, then it should be pretty much a given at that point because y'all put it as a rule or a law.
Like if you had a job and they say, how some jobs have an incentive for like not missing the absence throughout the whole year, they give everybody a bonus. For you to say that person wouldn't get it, then I would say that's messed up because they actually, it's a black and white requirement. They done it.
Now you also said something that because I don't like the word deserve, man. Like I just honestly don't feel like nobody deserves shit. Like you don't deserve anything. Like, and then you even said it, and I always chime in. It's like even people who work hard for something. Like I don't even think hard work means a person deserves it. I just don't like the term for some reason. Like I'm like deserve. Like who? Like because who is really to say that because you put all this effort in now you deserve it? Now I would switch the word up because I like how these fellas say they use deserve. I would say that people earn things. But I believe you can earn something. That don't mean you deserve it, though, just because you work hard. Like, I'll be like, yeah, you earned it because you put the hard work into it, and then now this was presented for you, and this was attained, like how you said. Like, it's something that once you attain it. But deserve, I just don't feel like nobody deserves anything. I think people earn things all the time, though. Like, even the structure when I do with my kids, I believe everything is like earned behavior, earn this, earn that. But deserve, because to me, deserving sounds like entitlement. Like that means you have to have done something now that puts you in an entitlement placement. Like you had to at least get to this point to say you deserve it. and I just personally don't think that that's how.
But do we think? Well, I ask you personally, and then anybody else can chime in as well. Do you think their entitlement is a negative thing at all times? Like you tell your kids, like if you teach them about like getting good grades or being a good student or doing certain things, and they feel they're entitled to have success in life because they are following, they are doing the things that what they are being taught should bring success. There shouldn't be some form of entitlement, like you just, especially if you got like a guideline, be like, hey, I put you on this team next year, I'll buy you these shoes based on you getting the A's. Would you then feel better if someone say, hey, I got all A's and you told me I feel entitled to these shoes now because I got all A's this semester? Like, would that be positive?
So I don't view entitlement as a bad thing, but I believe that that's where humility and humbleness gonna come into your life. That just because you work hard and you realize you can't get something, it's gonna be that thing in life that's gonna show you that hey, everything ain't gonna go your way. So just because you work hard don't mean you're gonna automatically get it. So sometimes when we teach like like work and reward, it's like okay, yeah, you might can get it, but then you might put all that work in and go hard. It might be like with a basketball team. You might have went hard and fought for it and built it and pushed it through, and you still might not make the cut. So I'm gonna have to look at them and be like, hey man, sometimes you make it, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Like just because you did that, don't mean you're gonna automatically get it. Now you might feel entitled. My son, you might feel like that. I worked my ass off, I deserve this spot. And I might be like, clearly, other people your coach don't see it that way. You work hard, but yet you still didn't make it. So I don't look at it as bad though. Like, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with you feeling entitled, but you just better be prepared for the letdown because that's where humility and humbleness gonna come in at. So you might take it a little arrogant and then fail.
I think with what you said about the earning, I like that a whole lot because it would then change that question to what would make a person earn their preferences, working hard.
Well,
go ahead, Matt.
Well, if a person gets a title or a person gets an advancement or a reward, let's say a reward, if a person gets a reward, that don't necessarily mean they earn it as well. Unless certain people live by if you got it, you automatically earned it. Because some people, they have to say this person ain't earned it. They say, hey, I just gave it to him because of favoritism, or I just gave it to him because my boy. And that don't necessarily mean they earned it either.
Yeah, but earning comes from work. Now people can make advances without earning them now. Like it might be like a situation of nepotism, you know what I'm saying? Like you might run a business and you might got some guys who more skilled, but then you might have sons. And you put your sons in that position only because they're your sons and you looking out for your people, but they ain't earned shit. They barely can't even do the job. Now, they got the position. They didn't earn it, though, because they didn't do anything. You just gave it to them. So, I think earn come with work.
Kind of like Vic with Coca-Cola. He was the laziest person in there. And he got promoted to run the whole warehouse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People get positions all the time that they haven't earned. But I think earning something comes with the work, comes with the hard work. Yo, Dre, what's up, man? What's going on, man?
What's happening, man? What's going on? Nothing much.
So we was just not getting to the end of the question of what will make a person earn. Well, no, my bad. We started using the term. What will make a person deserve their preferences? What you think about that?
As in what? Just leadership or just in general?
All in general, whether it might be the woman they feel they deserve in their life, the job, the car, the house, just what will make a person feel like they deserve it according to their preferences.
You gotta get back to me on that.
I'm gonna let you ponder on that. I'll let you ponder on that. So the next one. I was watching something and it made me think of this question. Is equality a real preference in today's society? Is equality a realistic preference? See what y'all think about this. I'm going to start with Big Dave on this one. Big Dave, what you think, man?
So I feel it depends on the person as far as their mindset, their upbringing, and the way they see things. Like me personally, I see myself and others equal in all aspects in life. Although some may be better than others at certain tasks, but I feel everyone is given the same opportunities to chase. Some people just work hard on chasing the opportunities. Those that waste time, expect things to fall in their lap and happen for them, maybe feeling like they may not be equal to the ones that's out there posting and putting things on social media or all the rewards from their hard work, but not posting the moves and the visions it took to get there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Chef Joe, is equality a realistic preference in today's society?
In today's society, no, but what is?
Why not, man? Elaborate. Why you feel it's not?
You see the world we live in today? What you fucking mean?
Why you saying it's unrealistic? I want to know why. Why do you feel this way, man? Why you feel it's unrealistic?
Like you said,
So tell me we can't get no equality out here, Josh. That's what you telling me. Come on, man. You can't get no equality.
Hell no.
All right, Chef Joe said we ain't getting no equality. Zach, man, what you think, man? Is equality a realistic preference, man?
I don't think so. I don't think so for the reason that, you know, people are gonna work harder to achieve their goals, where some people are just gonna sit back and wait for it to fall in their laps, like Big Dave said. I mean, it's, you know, if you're out there working hard, it's gonna come to you. But if you're just sitting around doing nothing about it, you have all these ideas in your head, but you ain't doing nothing. You can't expect it to come to you.
If you not. Okay. Millie Matt, what you think, man? Is equality a realistic preference in today's society?
A realistic preference. Absolutely.
Today a lot of people keep saying they prefer equality. They feel we should be more equal.
I think most of the people that prefer that are probably losing, honestly. And in general, I believe it's more equality in today's society than it ever has been. Actually, I think most everybody. I don't know no situation that in society right now that everybody can't earn. Whether you're a woman, a man, color, non-color, no matter what, everybody got the same opportunity, and
Right.
I've never been stopped. So I don't see what other people are seeing. I think equality definitely is a preference for people that's losing. I think now that don't mean in pots. That don't mean in certain portions of society there's going to be disadvantages and preferences and stuff like that that affect people. You're never going to have a society in this country or any country where everything is done by the book and every single person is a person that treats everybody the same. You know what I'm saying? Even in the same gender, even in the same race, people treat each other different based on what they like. So I think equality is unrealistic, and the people that talk about it the most probably are, like I said, they just ain't winning like that. They just gotta get their game up and come a little harder, man.
All right, Notorious Drake. Before I throw you this one, man, I need you. I gave you time to ponder on that last one, man. Oh man,
I'll
first
answer this one.
deserve their preferences. What you got for me on that one, man? Before I throw this one to you. You just need to pass on that one.
Yeah. Only thing I can say on that is I believe people, believe that they work hard, to they. I didn't really have time to think about that question.
I know. All right, well, catch this one then. Is equality a realistic preference in today's society? What you think on that?
Honestly, no. I don't think so because
Matt said, man, only people who complaining are the ones who losing.
No, I'm about to tell you I disagree because we had to have the mindset that we had to work twice as hard. Like I don't think we all don't have the same opportunities. We all have opportunities, but we don't have the same opportunities as everyone else. Because you know, some people might come from rich families, and you know, and this and the third. You know, we might get come from like, you know, lower income homes. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody can have money, you know, like to pay for college or whatnot. Like how, other rich kids can. You feel what I'm saying? So I believe, you know, we have opportunities, but not the same opportunities. Like we might
But
have
you
to
have,
work twice as hard as others.
but everybody has the chance to get rich and pay for that same college, right, with their own money, right?
Correct.
So I mean, if somebody born to, we can't speak on somebody being born to a family, because I mean, if we go speak on that, I can say everybody had the same chance to be born to that family. I mean, you can't, because that's not a preference that you was born into a certain family. That's just how life works. So I
Right.
mean, I wouldn't count that you born somewhere. So I mean, I agree with what you said, but I wouldn't say that gives somebody that's inequality because somebody was born into a great situation.
I mean that it's the advantage though. It's a big advantage.
Yeah, it's an advantage, but it's not inequality because they're not getting it. I mean, sometimes they are getting it based on what people accomplished before them, but they're also getting it based on the financial aspect, which everybody has a chance to get. And even if somebody does agree that that's inequality, that's like a naturalness of life. I'm talking about like when I speak of inequality, you getting something just because someone is just treating you different based on just race or sex or whatever or just whatever. I think that's equally over the board. Now we know finances rule everything, make the world go round. So of course finances are going to be something that differentiates every person.
Okay, I
So,
agree.
so let me ask this question to all of y'all directly then, because I was asking y'all, generally speaking, would y'all want it to be equal? Personally, would you prefer if everything was an equal slate?
Nah, that's stupid. I
No,
would hate that.
because everybody don't deserve an equal slate. To be honest with you.
That's right.
And I like competition. You know what I'm saying? I love this country. I like
Okay,
competition.
everybody don't deserve. Okay, Chef Joe, what you think? Would you prefer this?
Nah.
Okay, Zach, you shake your head no.
Nope.
Big Dave, you said no too, or you want
Yeah,
things to be equal?
I don't think everybody should get no equal slate because if everybody got an equal slate, it'd be like a bunch of robots walking around, man. Everybody be the same. You wouldn't
That's a
have no
fact.
different walks of life. Everything would just be boring. Like there wouldn't be no reason to keep on pressing and achieving goals because everybody got the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
That's
build
great
nothing
that
for
you
your
say that.
kids if everything gets cleaned away. And once they grow up, they got to work just as hard as you did if you try to work hard and leave something behind for them. So nah.
That's a great point you made too, because I just read something where some of the greatest inventions have came from people that you know some of the greatest ideas had came from people that felt they weren't in the same position as other people in life. So sometimes you not being born into a great situation actually what inspires change and inspires new ideas and actually what has made the world evolve the way it has evolved.
Exactly.
Okay. So my thoughts on this whole equality, I think it's stupid. Like I know we live in a time where like you get like a lot of women who choose to be like feminists and stuff like that, push for the concept of equal. But one of the reasons why that's stupid because it's not equality amongst men. So the idea that it could possibly be equality using women is not equality amongst men. You have some men who are stronger than others. You have some men who are smarter than others. You know what I'm saying? You have some men who are faster than others. Some people learn quicker. Some people do this. Like the concept of equality just doesn't make sense at all. Like not even a little bit. Because no one person is the same, which means nobody could be actually equal. So I know we hear women do this, like push that concept a lot, and they like to talk about equality. But to me, it's the whole equality thing is just unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't believe people should start off even. I don't think people should start off slate. I think you need differences and all that in the world. So yeah, that's just stupid.
Yeah, that's a fact. You got a few women that you want to date. If you don't pick the one that weighs 400 pounds, are you being you know what I'm saying? Are you being what's the word for prejudice towards her? She might treat you better than all the other ones that look better or that make you feel better.
They gonna say you fat shaming.
Yeah.
Why why you shaming her because she big? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you can't take the big girl the same way you gonna take the small girl?
Yep, that's what they're gonna say.
So it is what it is. All right, let's get into this. Why do men prefer the authority of men over them versus the authority of women? And this is something I was looking back at one of the shows when we were talking about following and leadership. And I remember one of the questions came up about somebody brought it up about how men were more willing to listen to other men, but they ain't willing to listen to women. So it made me want to, think about the question. And I was asking, I was like, I want to do men prefer this. So first, I'm gonna kind of ask it two parts. Well, no, I'm gonna let y'all answer the real question, the first question, the original question first, and then I'm gonna ask y'all about y'all personal preference. But why do men prefer the authority of another man being over them versus the authority of a woman? And I can talk about this even like you see it in jobs where some men do not like to see women supervisors, do not like to see women managers. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to see stuff like that. Even when it comes to relationships. Sometimes, usually when you got a woman who in control, she typically kind of make a bitch out you. And, it looks like y'all roles are reversed within the relationship. So this is just general question. Why do men prefer the authority of men over the women? What y'all think about this? Chef Joe, I'm gonna go with you, man, because you over there laughing and stuff, man. Why do you think men like
that? Because in certain situations, in situations like that, if your boss training you or whatever, like he done been through it, like he done been through the learning, the teaching, and he can guide you and probably show you better what to do.
You don't think the women can do it?
Possibly.
You ain't never seen it?
It depends what job we talking about, what field we talking about.
So you was in the military. You ain't had no good, women, master sergeants or anything like that?
NCOs and all that? No, it was all men.
Oh, so you ain't really get to see it in real practice, is what you're saying?
Nope.
Okay. Dre, Notorious Dre, man. What you think about this? Why do men prefer the authority of men versus having the women being the authority figure over them?
It can be for two reasons. The first reason I think is because let's just be honest, a lot of men, in my opinion, are chauvinists. A lot of men.
You say, what you say? You say they what?
A lot of men are chauvinists, like male chauvinists. A lot of men are. Because they got this mindset. They don't want a woman to tell them what to do. This at the third, they make them feel, emasculated. It's like an ego thing to them, right? And the other reason, because I'm gonna be honest, man, like a lot of women, man, when they get a leadership role, they just act like bitches, man. I'm just being real. A lot of them act like bitches. They let the position get to their head and they just act so masculine. You know what I'm saying? At least from my experience. Like that's a lot of them are.
Okay. Zach, man, what you think about this, man? Why do men prefer the authority of men over them versus women?
Now, I've been listening to the guys, and we have a woman supervisor, and it's fine in my opinion. But why would men prefer other men? We look up to them, we see them succeeding, and we want to know what they think about how we're doing something. And as a woman, it's like they don't understand men's head, and it's made like that on purpose. I believe. I believe men and women are supposed to be together, but men mentor young men from their experiences and show them the right way and sometimes the wrong way, and they can learn from it.
Would you say it's their ego, man? You think these guys just being egotistical?
Yeah, it definitely pride definitely goes into it. Most definitely.
Okay. Big Dave, man. What you think, man? I know you about to listen to these women out here, man. I know you ain't gonna agree with these guys, Big Dave. Come on, Big Dave. Why men prefer these men over, man?
The way I see it, from the day I was born, probably 80% of my life I spent living in the house with women, whether it be my sisters and my mama, my old lady, and the ones in between. But from what I seen, when they get that time of the month, everybody know what I'm talking about. When they get that time of the month, bro, it's like a big ass hormonal roller coaster. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if a pan gonna fling past your head, and that being taken into a leadership role can't never be good because that 1 week out the month, it's gonna be unpredictable. It's
Yeah.
about a 40% chance bad versus good of what's gonna happen. So I wouldn't want to have to deal with that, having to work under them. As far as government goes, like if we got a lady president, 1 week out the month, you may have some crazy things happen. We might go to war. I mean,
so what you saying is, if Nikki Haley was to become the president, and on that, and it's a lot of shit happened on that week she on her menstrual cycle, we going to war. That's what you saying?
I wish you'd stop texting me though.
yeah. I done got that same text. No, I'm not voting for you. Leave me alone.
Okay, so I heard you too. So I wish you was not too. So let me ask you a question. So since we're talking about Nikki, so those of us who in South Carolina, Nikki Haley was when she was a governor. What y'all thought? How y'all thought she was when she was a governor?
I remember all of that crazy stuff happening, and we having all them protests and stuff at the state house when she was governor. That
You
caused
don't think
a lot of headache
you don't
for
think she
people
was doing a
around
good job as a governor, man?
I wasn't in
here. No,
I wasn't in SC for that.
man, it was a bunch
I'm
of
gonna be honest.
unnecessary stuff, man.
I somewhat like Nikki Haley, but presidency, no, hell no. But I'm gonna be one of those guys. There's just certain things I just don't like women to be in a part of. So I'm just one of those guys. Presidency, I'm not really rocking like that. Not with Nikki. I was okay with her little governor, thing, but I don't really like her like that.
She just lost me when she said racism don't exist. That she lost me right there.
Millie Matt, man, what you think about this, man? Why do men prefer the authority of men over them versus women?
I think it's ego, competitiveness, and a disadvantage. So, like, first, when it comes to ego, I think most men just, they want to compete. When you think of competing, you think about competing with another physical man. You know what I'm saying? When you think of competition, you think that it's going to be a man. So I think some people, when they are being led by a woman, it's already a hit to the ego. You know what I'm saying? When they going around their boys, or I'm saying they out in the world and they're saying that my boss. Even when you hear the term boss, it sounds like something that's masculine. But then when you say you got a boss and you hear it's a female, I think it's an ego. It's an egoness with guys. And like I say, that's the
So y'all
competitive.
don't think y'all don't think the women can keep up?
I think they can keep up in certain aspects according to what the job is. It's a job by job basis. But I also think damn, I forgot where I was gonna go. But as far as like the I say competitive, the disadvantage, also the disadvantages, like it's in a man's nature to try to compete for the top spots for a lot of guys. Of course, we don't have a lot of guys trying to do that today. Most guys, I believe, are docile now. But typically most men it's in their nature to compete to try to get the top spot. But when you have a woman that's the boss, it kind of like hinders that because you can't address her the same way you would address, even if she wrong, the way when you address her, she's emotional. So even when you address her a certain way, you can easily be fired with all these laws going on now. If she feels uncomfortable, she don't even have to prove you did nothing wrong. All she had to do is prove and say she was uncomfortable, and you could be disciplined, remanded, or whatever. So you can't even compete the same way you would be able to compete with a dude that was at that position. So it's also a disadvantage now, which I believe has made men even less likely to want a female boss because you can't even deal with her in a one-on-one situation. You need a third party to make sure everything is going good because anything can happen now. So I just think I think it's an ego thing, it's a competitive thing, and I think that people also don't like it now because they feel like it's more disadvantage coming with a female being there over a man.
Okay. All right. So any ladies who watching, watch how I'm about to, because I know these fellas. I'm about to show you how these fellas really feel. Right. I'm about to ask them each a personal question in their own realm of expertise, and I'm gonna show you how these fellas really feel. Watch this. Watch how I do this game. So Matt, Millie Matt. Nah, I got this. I'm good at this. Watch this. So Millie Matt, you know, if you in the gym, yo, and Shorty had to spot you, you cool with letting her female spot you? You on that weight bench, throw that thing up. You cool with letting her spot you? Or she don't think she can keep up? She ain't strong enough for this, right?
No, I think she can spot me because I ain't even if a dude spot me, no matter who spot me, I ain't gonna put that much on there where assistance couldn't help me.
Nah, fuck that. You maxing out. Nah, fuck that. You maxing out today.
Even if I max out, I'm lifting 70-80% of it myself.
That's true.
That spot really ain't that hard unless you just got something you ain't supposed to have on there at all. If you need the person spotting you to have just as much strength as you just ain't got too much on there.
You maxing out,
Maybe
man.
Another example.
And for some reason you get a little weak. You know how you get that little tremble. It coming down on your chest. All you got is her, man. Are you scared? Or you got confidence?
It ain't really. I'm gonna be honest with you. That ain't really based on the gender right there. It's based on who it is. Because there's some dudes in the gym that if he spot me, I'm gonna feel uncomfortable. You see some of these dudes super light in the ass in the gym. I feel uncomfortable if he spot me. It's some females here that's more built than the dudes.
Hell yeah!
All right, Big Dave. All right, you doing security. You fuck around, end up doing the job, man. You the only male. Are you just as confident with these women being your team? They doing the same job. They you know what I'm saying? They gotta, you know, de-escalate. They gotta do all that. How you feel? You comfortable? Or you feel like you gonna feel like you on an island out there?
Well, the only way I'd feel comfortable in that situation would be if this lady was like some badass MMA fighter, like some Ronda Rousey or some shit, you know, like that'd be the only way. Other than that, I would feel that would be some help to me, but I would also feel like that was one more person that I had to protect in my line of work. So
exactly.
Okay. Chef Joe. All right, we going to war now. All right, this platoon you got sent out with. The ratio, because you know the way women fighting, the ratio done shot up. So you looking at 60% more women. Are you comfortable with more women watching your back versus the men? She got you 6, her and the homegirl. How you feel? You comfortable? That she's also the sniper up there. You know what I'm saying? Are you comfortable? You know, like how you feel? You comfortable with this? You know, that your infantry unit go out. Look, your infantry unit hit that ground. Hey, about 50-50. How you feel? Straight men on the other side, but you got about 40% women. How you feel going into this fight?
And you say she a sniper?
No, that's a couple. You got about 2 of them in there, but your infantry is about 40% women. How you feel?
I mean, you say
you got confidence in this. You got confidence in this war. Or you thinking y'all might need the flag to go up? Come on, tell the women how you really feel.
I feel comfortable because you know how much training we got to go through anyway. Shit, I feel comfortable.
So the women meeting the same standards as the men in the military?
Shooting wise, hell yeah.
Okay. So if it gets to a fist fight, are you still as comfortable? Well, you was in the army. Y'all ain't. You probably shouldn't feel comfortable because you was in the army. So y'all ain't really, y'all ain't really doing no real hand to hand out there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, fuck you.
I'm just being honest, man. It ain't like you was no, it ain't like you was no, All right, Dre, Notorious Dre. All right, Dre. About coming up, you say you fighting. They say, hey, we got a female we about to put you against. Do you feel like she gonna be a worthy competition, Dre? Come on, got a bout coming up. You fighting? What's up?
No.
You gonna say you ain't fighting her? Or you gonna beat her ass? What you doing, Dre?
I'm not fighting.
You gonna fight her?
No.
You not gonna fight her?
I'm not gonna fight her.
What if she come to the weigh-in and she talking shit? She fuck you, motherfucker. I knock your punk ass out. I talking shit, Dre. I thought Dre, she in the weigh-in. She putting her finger up and everything. Like, yeah, I eat men for breakfast. And she talking crazy shit. She's like, yeah, I've been waiting to beat a man down. This for the women. You saying, Dre? You gonna fight her in the ring or what? Or you gonna be like, nah, man, she ain't ready. What's up?
She ain't ready for it. I'll just say she ain't ready. She ain't. I don't think she knows she'll get into.
So you ain't even gonna take it. You ain't even gonna take the exhibition. You just gonna let them be like, man, come on, man. You gotta do better.
Now, like, man, y'all be for real, man.
Damn, you gonna feel like they playing with you.
Yeah, I feel like they play. I feel assaulted, man.
Man, he gonna be insulted. See, that's kind of fucked up, man. Because you wouldn't feel insulted if they gave you a man. That's unfair.
Nah. Nah, man. Nah.
All right, cool. All right, Zach. Go, man.
I don't even know.
All right, man. Listen. So this woman coming in as she a so-called professor on the scale, right? So, she here teach you. I want to know how comfortable you gonna feel about the logic she gonna bring, right? I'm talking about she coming from a theological background and everything, and she trying to get you somewhere now. And say you might be a little on the fence, but she trying to get you there. And she be like, she gonna be that one to get you there. She gonna spread the word, she gonna dive into it, and she's gonna get you there. Do you feel confident that woman being able to set up that preference for that pinnacle for you to get you there? Like, I know y'all like to follow men, but she's saying she gonna be that intermediate, that vessel right there. She gonna damn near be a pastor to you. How you feel about that, man? What you doing?
Ignoring it. I ain't even paying it no attention. I ain't listening.
Oh man, you ain't gonna let her guide you, man?
Nah.
Damn, she can't even be the spiritual advisor. I told y'all, ladies, I'm gonna show y'all, man. That's why equality was stupid. All right. See, the reason why I went that direction and I did Zach last because I was gonna go into this question right here. And let me get this one off the screen. If you prefer to not live by a theological text, right? Are you preferring to walk without God? Now, this right here is a little different for y'all. Now we tapped into certain stuff, so I just want to know what y'all mentality is when it comes to this, because you got some people who walk these religious paths and things of that nature, and they go certain avenues. But I want to know because nowadays you don't really see a lot of people moving as the religious vessels. Like, we don't see as many. Like, we down here, all of us, we down here in the South. And we all know this is the Bible Belt, and most people I'm pretty sure everybody know way more Christians than they know anything else. So if you're choosing not to live by the theological texts, and I'm saying theological because I'm putting it in a reference of whatever you're going at, whether it's biblical, whether it's the Quran, whether it's the Holy Vedas, whatever you want to tap into. By choosing not to live this way, are you choosing to walk without God? What y'all think about this? Chef Joe, you look like godly, God-fearing type of a brother. What you think about this?
What?
What you think about this, man? If you choose not to walk the path of this text, are you choosing to walk without God? Or do you believe that you don't have to? I'm just trying to get some understanding of preference. Because some people say if you claim it and you choose to be this, then you have to then move accordingly. And then some people say, it's different things, man. I'm just trying to figure out where we at.
Man, if that's the case, all those going to hell. Because I know all those don't broke the gut. I don't know about you, Zach, but I know Kevin and got we all done broke all them shits.
Walk it through. Let's go. But to the question though, would that be you choosing to walk without God?
No, I mean, we all make mistakes and we all know what we're doing and just ask for forgiveness. I mean, I know I do, but
so you're saying it's just as simple as that? Just ask for forgiveness and you're gonna be all right.
I wouldn't say it's simple as that, but you if you want to, you got to change your ways if you think certain stuff.
So with changing your ways, then now mean you would then have to be walking that path, then, right?
Correct.
So then, if you're not doing that, is it safe to say that you're walking without God? I know it's a little more pressure than we usually do. I got you.
Yeah, because
Come on. If you prefer to walk without theological text, are you walking without? Come on. You need to ponder a little bit. You need me to let somebody else build?
Yeah, man.
I just need a yes or no for you, man. That's all. I just needed a yes or no.
Right. In my opinion, I don't think so. I mean, because we all do wrong, and all that, but I wouldn't say it wouldn't be simple as just asking God to forgive us. I mean, look at murderers in jail. Like they go to jail, come out holy thou, because they repent for their sins and all that. I mean, and the Bible say God.
Some of them would say they were walking without God, and then they
found God.
And then they found God.
Yeah, oh, Lord. And the good book say, my son died for all y'all sins. So whatever sins y'all did, I mean, he already died for them. But that's a hard one.
Text you're going by,
huh?
I said if that's the text you're going by, everybody goes by something different.
True.
All right, Zach, man, what you think, man? If you're choosing not to walk or follow the theological text, are you walking without God? What you think?
No, God has been presented to be necessary for my belief. So I don't think we're walking with God. I don't think we're walking without God. I mean, if you hold those beliefs and you feel like you are walking with God, or if you've been indoctrinated to believe that there is a God and you're choosing to do the exact opposite, that's on you. But from my perspective, I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in God. I believe that we're here and this life is all we get. So why not enjoy it and make the most of it and be a good person instead of, just. So my answer is I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not choosing to walk without God because no God is presented necessary for me to believe in.
Okay. Zach said a lot. He said a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He said a lot. Big Dave, what you think about the question? If you're choosing to walk outside of the theological texts, would that be the same as if you're walking without God?
So, my beliefs, I feel like I believe a lot different than a lot of people.
Talk to us.
I believe in God and I pray, but I don't believe in the Bible. I just feel like that book is so contradictory as far as what's in there. Like the 10 Commandments, they say you shouldn't commit adultery. But the Bible sit there and names all these wives that these guys had. So like what I get from that is adultery is okay as long as you marry whatever flavor you choose to have, you know what I'm saying? At that particular time. That's kind of what that message speaks to me. It speaks differently to a lot of people, but I just the way I see it, like before government was a thing, that's what they used to kill people with. People did wrong against that particular book. They was
In the
stoned,
name of
they was
Jesus.
burnt. That book has killed so many people. And one of the commandments in the book says
Thou shalt
Thou
not
shalt
kill.
not kill.
thou shalt not kill. So why would you kill regardless? Like that's what it tells you. You shouldn't kill, but you're gonna kill somebody because they don't believe this book. I mean, that book and then it talks about how Jesus is supposed to be King of Kings. Why do they have it named King James? Who is King James? You know what I'm saying? Why can't they name it King Jesus if that's the king? You know what I'm saying? Like that whole book, man. I can't. So just because you don't believe in a text or a book, regardless of whatever religion it is, I don't see as that being ungodly. I just feel like you choose to not believe what man has wrote for you to follow, for you to practice a religion.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I like this. This was actually different than I expected. Okay. Millie Matt, man, what you think, man? If one chooses not to walk the theological path, is he walking without God?
I don't have enough context on the Bible and religion, matters to really know about other people as far as how it would affect them. But I can speak on me personally, and me personally, I always felt like God was with me. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like when I prayed or when I went to sleep and had conversations that I could talk to God. And I don't have a concrete reason why I believe that, you know what I'm saying? But I just always felt like it was real. It could have been like how Zach said indoctrinated or whatever, but I just always felt it was real. And I always felt it worked with me with certain situations as well. So I don't necessarily, for me personally, I don't necessarily need the theological text to believe I'm walking with God. And I don't know if the right phrase is walking with God, but like I said, I always believe that when I pray and everything that He hears me, or like there's something a higher power than me. And I don't know if like God is actually like a man or a woman or a person, but I do believe there's a higher reason that we're here. I don't believe we just one day somebody had to have been the first person. You know what I'm saying? Like
True.
there
Yeah.
is a beginning now. Like some people that say there's no God, they don't believe there's a beginning. So like you just telling me it just goes forever and forever and forever and forever, forever, and there was never one person here. So I mean, I don't believe that. I believe it had to start with one person. Everything had to have a beginning. So I don't know how we got here if there was no beginning. So
True.
So your answer would be pretty much no then. So that you be like how you, because you said personally you ain't into the text, but and saying walking with God is you simply believe that is there that entity is there with you. You know what I'm saying? When you going through things and all the other stuff like that. I use the term walking with because a lot of people love to say he
yeah,
walks with me, hold my hand, all that other stuff like that. So that's why I use the term. So okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Also too, one other thing too. When we say, and this ain't to knock nobody or how they believe, because I don't know, but this is just a question I got. Like when y'all was saying the Bible contradicts itself and certain things don't make sense. I mean, we think about it, none of this makes sense. Us being here, you know what I'm saying? We could go into we could break down everything and go to how none of this makes sense. Like how did they why isn't a man and a woman? Why wasn't it just all men here? You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't know about a woman. Why wasn't it just all women here? Like we could go back to everything and break down. Nothing really makes sense of how we all here. So I mean, I'm sure at one point light didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? That you could actually hit a button and have a flashlight. You could have batteries didn't make sense. At one point, cars didn't make sense. I mean, nothing made sense at one point until it made sense. So when people say it didn't make sense, that's almost with everything. So why wasn't Kevin born a cat or Josh born a giraffe? Why he had to be here talking to be born a man? I mean, everything really doesn't make sense when you think about it until it makes sense.
But making sense ain't necessarily when you speak it to contradiction, because to say something is contradiction is meaning that you understand something, and then you're seeing that this right here is now going against something that it actually was trying to point that was there. You get what I'm saying? So necessarily saying something is a contradiction is not really about somebody not understanding. It's that they understand. They're saying that this actually goes against a point that you were trying to, a direction you were trying to go. You now swinging me back the other way.
Yeah, I forgot. I know about that part, and I agree with that part as far as when I think that what you said, Zach, right?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, I agree with that part about the. Well, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that example you use, but I get what people say about the contradictions in the Bible. I can see why some people that can
that's what I was just speaking to just now. Just the part
just the contradictions.
Just
But yeah, I don't
contradiction.
necessarily agree with that one.
Big
If you got multiple wives, it wouldn't be adultery. You know, in my opinion, that's how I look at it, based on people, even religions here or countries here where people have multiple wives. They don't look at that as adultery. I think they look at it as adultery when you're cheating on one of your wives with someone that isn't your wife. But I kind of get what people are saying about certain things.
Or the thou shalt not kill, or the thou shalt not steal, and all that.
got into a long discussion about that. Those
The government steals from us every damn week.
exactly.
Practice.
But I don't know people. But do people they call them extremists, because a lot of people do say they kill it in the name of the Lord, but a lot of people that kill don't say they kill in the name of the Lord. They just say they kill it because it's what needs to be done to protect their family or their country or whatever. Everybody now there are certain Muslims or certain people from other countries or certain people even from this country that say they kill it and they use the Bible or in the name of God that this is what they're supposed to do. But most people that kill, I don't think they're contradicting it, because I don't think they're actually using that to say they're honoring something like the Bible.
Well,
No.
if we're walking down, like, if we're gonna walk like the path of like a lot of historical elements, there were a lot of people who killed in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, at that point, you have to protect certain stuff. Yeah, back then.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I
In
mean,
the
there
name
was
of
a lot of killing behind religion. Now,
Mhm.
St. Patrick's Day plays a heavy effect of a lot of killing, a lot of them black tribes and all that stuff like that. Because St. Patrick would really actually meant father figure, and going into it, there was a lot of killing behind it. Even when you say King James was also responsible for that whole Salem witch hunt when they went through there raping and pillaging them women, and by calling them women witches was why they would just burn and kill them women. There was a lot of killing in the name of Jesus. I'm just saying, historically, it was a lot.
in the name of all religions. People kill people. It's just a way of life. I'm just being honest. You see lions and tigers.
Oh, it's natural. Killing is natural to all
killing
living
stuff.
organisms.
But I personally see killing in all religions equally, almost. I mean, Muslims, I believe it was kind of inside job, but the World Trade Center, a lot of people died those days, that day specifically, and it's just it is the way it is.
Okay. Notorious Dre, man. What you think about this, man? It's been a lot of talking right now, just now, man. Like, how you feel about this? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to reiterate the question?
Yeah, ask the question one more time.
If you prefer to not live by the theological text, are you walking without God?
I believe if you following a certain religion, then yeah, you are. Like you can't just pick and choose, what matters to you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand, like a lot of Christians, they pick and choose on what they want to follow in the Bible. Like they love to throw scriptures at you, but then you throw a scripture right back at them. They say, "Oh, that was in the Old Testament." It no fucking matter. It was still in there.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? But if you somebody like me, who believe in God, but you don't necessarily, go by a set of rules, or a religion, then no, you're not, going off the theological text.
Okay. So, like, you do get people who talk about old law and new law. like what you was kind of alluding to, where a lot of people be like, no, we don't follow that no more. That's old law. You know what I'm saying? They be like, well, when Jesus came, they follow a new law. So you do get those discrepancies, but you also got to remember too that there's well over 70 denominations of what a Christian is too.
That's
And
true.
within your denominations, everybody has a belief that one other type of Christian, depending on whether they're, pescatarian, all the other stuff like that, like, Presbyterian, my bad, that's not pescatarian, Presbyterian or Baptist or whatever they have, you know what I'm saying, that probably is not going to see it, whether they might be Jehovah's Witness or whether they might be Catholic or whether they might be, you will have those avenues where, you get those people who just simply don't believe.
Right.
Me personally, to dive into the question, I don't believe that to not hold yourself to doctrine or these theological texts, no matter regardless of which book you're choosing to come from, would mean that you're not walking with the element of what you call God. Like I always say, one of the reasons why I could never be Muslim is because I don't believe there's one God. I believe there's multiple gods, but I believe that we ourselves are exactly those elements that we speak of. Because I will pose the question to anybody. Tell me something that you consider your supreme being does that we don't do every day on this goddamn planet. I would always pose that question. People love to say, well, he's a creator. I got 5 children. Seems like I be doing some creating out this motherfucker too.
Come on. Yeah.
So, it's a lot of stuff, killing, we have the power to take away something that's precious, like the life of somebody else too. So we can build, we can create, we can destroy, we can do all of that, all the other manipulations and all these other factors. I really see no difference. So when people say one God, I disagree. I think there's plenty of gods existing on this plane and outside. You know what I'm saying? We see it every day. And then if you're going to define whatever you choose to define God as, I guarantee you whatever verb you choose to attach with it, I guarantee you we do it. I guarantee you're not going to name something we don't do. I don't care who you are. I would love to hear it. But I guarantee you we do it. So I can never be Muslim because me personally, I never choose the role of following prophet. So Muhammad, Jesus, I really don't rock with those guys like that. That's just not I don't really. I mean, I understand placement and everything like that. A lot of people get upset with me when stuff like this come up because I tell them it's no different than any other comic book. To me, your Bible, your Quran, your Holy Veda ain't no different than the Marvel universe or the DC universe.
Right.
That's just me being personal. I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't see no difference. I don't see no difference. I mean, I'm just being honest. If it might offend somebody, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying I personally don't see no difference. Because you cannot, like how Zach said, you can't prove no otherwise. And I don't need the element to make me build. Like everything that motivates me come from inside. That's just me personally. I know other people grab their motivations and inspirations and aspirations from outside sources. Me personally, everything starts right here. So I don't need those elements to be a better person. I don't need that. I think every man though needs to establish, I'm gonna say every God, just to keep it in the right terms, because I prefer to use that because I think that's what I see when I look. When I look at the screen, I see gods. I don't know what the less than is, because I see everybody has the same ability to either rise to whatever the occasion is or fall at the occasion. And even in most of your cultures, if you're looking at archaic stuff, you had guys that rise and fall. Now I'm saying I understand the whole, the one thing that we always try to do, but I just don't believe that's really just that. I'm just being honest. All right, I ain't wanted us to go to Bible school. It was just one of them things I wanted to touch on, fellas.
I just want to say this before we go on to the next subject.
Go ahead.
I'm 24 years old.
Okay,
I have yet, right? I have yet. I don't know about y'all, but I've never met a person that followed their religion the right way. Never.
Okay, let's talk about that briefly.
True.
But let me ask you a question about everybody though. Has anybody ever seen that? Have y'all ever seen one person who followed the whatever there is completely that way?
Well, technically Jesus, but we would have
I said, have you ever seen it? He used his lifespan. He said he's in his 20s and he's personally never seen it. And Jesus, we don't even know where this element really lies, because I could walk us down the whole conjugal councils where nigga the role what Jesus had when the first council of Nicaea came in 325 AD wasn't the role of what Jesus was when the first council of Constantinople came in 420 AD. So this whole being the son of God, listen, we can walk this, we can walk this line. I'm good at this. I try not to go into this because it offends a lot of people.
We don't have to
do this, but we technically don't know really if Jesus is what people tell Jesus to be.
Right. I'm just saying, based off the stories we hear, we never know that it's true, but the stories that we're indoctrinated with inside the church, when I was a believer, I mean, we're indoctrinated literally to believe that Jesus was this perfect person that followed the 10 commandments perfectly, and that's why he died for our sins, because he knew that we can't, and he basically shed his blood that we can be saved as well. So needless to say, we can't do it, and we know that, but that's okay because Jesus died for my sins. That seems like bullshit to me. And why I say that is because 95% of Christians literally use the Bible as an occasion to sin. They're like, yeah, but I'm going to do this today, but I know God will forgive me. So it makes it right for me to do? Hell no. Hell no.
Just like I said earlier, you can't pick and choose. You know what you want to go by. You got to go by everything. Be all in and all out.
But a lot of people will tell you that they'll always bring up the concept of they're not perfect. And by saying I'm not perfect is actually an excuse to why you're fucking up.
Exactly.
It is.
Fucked up.
But go back to what Dre said. I was asking the question: have any of y'all ever seen in y'all lifetime somebody actually walk that path? I ain't even gonna say 100% because I don't believe nothing's definite, but at least 95, 90%.
No, not even 5.
Y'all ever see any Christian walk that path? Any Muslim walk that path that strongly? Have y'all ever seen this?
That's kind of like why I kind of quit going to church and stuff like that, because I've seen a lot of hypocritical people that's in church every Sunday, and Monday through Saturday they have habitual alcoholics. They got a gambling problem. You see them in places that you're like, wow, because you seen them Sunday. So yeah, nah, you can't do
Hey,
that and say you walking the line and you all holy on Sunday, man. You got to live your life the same way 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I tell everybody the biggest hypocrites are in church.
Yeah. No doubt.
And they usually got their hands up.
Yeah.
Hey, with the way this look right now, right?
Yeah,
If you had to look at, all right, if you had to look at Big Dave, right? If somebody had to judge like how Big Dave, you take his background, right, and then like the way he looks, somebody would look at him and be like, yeah, he looked like a gothic, like he gothic or something, right? The way he looked, like
Yeah.
then he got then the hoodie say Ghost Hunters International, like he didn't be like, yo, he just looked like it's something. They gonna say something dark on that side.
yeah. I do a little bit of paranormal stuff from time to time. So I'm a different individual.
You said for Valentine's?
No,
From
I
time
said
to
from
time.
time to time.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
I'm about to say, God damn. I was okay. All right, that's a little different. All right, y'all. I got 2 more I want to jump in. This one is gonna be a little light. This right here is gonna be for fun right here, and then I'm gonna go to the next one. So this one right here. Can we talk about preference? Do older men prefer younger women to relive their youth? What y'all think about that? I've heard people make this case, like try to make this case and say that this is why men like younger women. So I want to pose that question because I thought it was a pretty funny thing to discuss. Do y'all think older men prefer younger women to relive their youth?
I wouldn't say relive their youth, but to make them feel alive again. Well, it's about the same goddamn thing. My bad. Shit. Shit.
I was about to say some people will say that's the same thing. So you think a lot of men are choosing younger women to feel alive again? Or you think there are other reasons? Because there are other reasons, give an explanation of it being other reasons. Because they don't have to, What you think, Josh? Chef Joe? Come Come on, man. You get that little 21-year-old, that little 22-year-old, man. You just want to feel 21 again, man. What is it?
I want an older woman, nigga. I want me a sugar mama. Fuck it.
Hell yeah.
So you a bird out here is what you saying. So you a bird out here, huh?
Because you gotta think, a 21-year-old, I mean, some of them might be working and all that, but nigga, you be taking care of most of that shit. I'm not, nah, my brother, nah.
Well, I mean, she don't have to be necessarily 21. I mean, she could be 30, because if she's 30, she's still younger than you. You closer to 40 than you is 30.
Yes, nigga, I know that.
I'm just saying, so she don't have to be 21. Let's say 30. That would still be younger. Right? So what about 30? Come on.
To relive my youth.
Trying to relive your youth, man. Come on. Because she gonna make you work hard in that bedroom.
Well, I know.
You might have to pop a pill.
Yeah, you ain't never lying about that.
If you ain't eating right and you ain't got that stamina naturally, you might have to pop a pill on it. I'm just saying.
So to answer the question, yeah. I think to relive their youth. Yeah. Some say it make them feel younger, you know.
Okay. Notorious Dre, what you think about that, man? Do you think older men prefer younger women to relive their youth?
No, it sounds like a old bitter woman made that statement, to be honest with you. If you be real.
Man, so you said so you said it sounds like an old woman said that to take shots at or to keep the younger women from pursuing older men.
That's what it sounds like to me. No, I don't think so, man. Because I think they just find younger women attractive. If you ask me.
Okay. Zach, what you think, man? Do you think older men are preferring younger women to relive their youth?
Oh, I think so. I mean, nobody wants to grow old. Me personally,
True that.
I do. Man, I just want to live in this moment. I accept that I will get older. Mm-hmm. I will get older with my wife, and that's the end of the story.
So
for me.
So let's say, if you had to get older, let's say, you and your wife was not together and you managed to get older. If you had to get a younger woman, would it be for that reason, to relive your youth?
I wouldn't say yeah. I'd say no. I would. Well, I mean, if I'm like 60 years old, I ain't going for a 60-year-old. I'll probably go for like a 44-year-old. Something like that. Because, I expect
no old bitch.
My wife is older than I am. She fixed it, but
are you like no cougars?
What's the age gap between you and your wife?
2 years.
That ain't
that's not 2 years. 2 years is not a huge difference, but there's some things that she grew up with that I didn't.
But you're still technically the same era, though. I mean, it might be like natural things, but I mean, y'all kind of the same era. Like she ain't been exposed to no different music than you. Like y'all kind of the same. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all kind of the.
She don't listen.
Hold on. Hey, Big Dave, your wife older than you too, right?
By 2 years.
Oh, okay. See. That's about right.
And it's not that bad. Like me and her, the music, she knows most of the music I know, but I listen to so many things. Some of the stuff I put on, she's like, I ain't never heard that before.
All right, so y'all ain't seeing stuff like she's sitting in the bed at night watching like the Andy Griffin show, and y'all trying to figure out what the fuck this is.
Hey man, I still watch that shit.
Griffin.
She ain't watching like I Love Lucy, and I ain't talking about the color version. I'm talking about when that shit black and white. Like, y'all ain't had no moments, is it?
No.
Monsters.
Hey, I
Beverly
watched those shit.
Hillbillies, but not in color, or like them old shows, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, or something like that.
Hey, I be watching Diagnosis Murder, Andy Griffith. I be watching all them old shit.
Listen, I watch them shows too, but I'm weird though. You know, like I like old shit when I go to bed. I don't know, like I like old sitcoms when I go to sleep. So I do stuff like that. Like I sit there and watch like the old school Addams Family. I like Beverly Hillbillies. Like Beverly Hillbillies, that's my shit.
Yeah,
or like the Monsters. Like I watch like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I like shit like that. Me personally. You know what I'm saying?
I second that, bro. I second that.
Or even like on the black side. Like I like to go to sleep to Sanford and Son. I like to go to sleep to Good Times. Like me personally, I like older shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't like going to sleep to like Law and Order. There's too much going on. You gotta focus. Like,
my old lady loves Law and Order. I can't.
Hey, I be falling asleep to Unsolved Mysteries and all that shit.
Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So hold up. Big Dave, you didn't get to answer the question though. Do older women prefer younger women to relive their youth?
So the older men prefer younger women to relive their youth.
Yeah.
The way I feel about that situation. If your name ain't Hugh Hefner, man, stop.
Yeah.
If you got kids that's older than the females you trying to have a relationship with, bro, you about to die. They're gonna take all your money and you're gonna have some mad kids.
Yeah.
I think there should be a limit on that. Like at least 20 years. Like if you're 60 years old, 40 years would be cool. But anything younger than that, like if you 60 trying to go for 30 and 20s and right then and there,
what would be the problem
your whole life, man.
So personally, what you think would be the problem with that, with a 30-year gap like that? If he's 60 going for a 30, what would you personally think would be a problem with that?
Like I said, if your age span is that far, man, you probably been a pervert your whole life. You done had this from the time that one that you was trying to pursue was born. You know what I mean? Like
so
them old men sitting around, she growing up pretty nice.
So what you
I know y'all done been around stuff like that and heard that. Like you be sitting at little events and stuff, and them old men be standing over there drinking, looking at all the young girls walking by. Dang, I remember when she was 10 years old, she done turned into a nice little lady.
So what you saying is, with an age gap like that, it gives off predatorial type of vibes.
Yeah, you can't sit there and watch a person grow up and then want a relationship with them. That's like
now what if they just met the woman? What if they met that woman and she's 30 and he so-called fell in love and he's 60?
If my thing is, if you don't watch kids grow up and they around the same age, leave it alone.
No, I agree with you. You're talking about you.
Let your son get on that. You don't got to get on that. Let your son get it. Tell your son about it.
But I'm saying, no. I'm saying that. Say he didn't watch her grow up. Like say he just met her, and she just happens to be 30, but he's 60. Would you tell him to not? Would you tell him like, nah, man, leave that alone, man? What you think?
I'd tell him put his son on her. Really? You gotta have a son, a nephew, or something, man. If you got a pop a pill to hang and then hope your ass don't end up in the ER on life support because you done had your one last piece, you need to leave that alone and send one of your younger teammates after it.
I feel you. I don't disagree. All right. So my thoughts on this whole do older men prefer younger women to relive their youth? I think it could be a little bit of both. I think a lot of the excitement of her being younger is thrilling for him. I think it is. I think part of it is that, but I also think too that it's also a lot harder dealing with older women too. Like I think a lot of older women kind of find themselves in places, and I don't care what race they is, they find themselves in a placement of kind of trying to treat you like a child because they done lived a certain life. So kind of like one of y'all said, like if you were 60, you ain't want no 60-year-old, because typically that 60-year-old, what she wants out of that situation is gonna be kind of different. She's gonna talk to you different. Like her expectations of this relationship is different. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think he kind of want a lot of the excitement and the thrilling moments, but I think a lot of times too, older women are harder to deal with too. Personally, I think that it's a kind of a mixed thing. That's my opinion. All right, the last one I got for us, guys. See, we doing good. We okay. Why is fear a preferred measure for controlling others? I want y'all to think about this. So y'all know typically in the realm when we start talking about control, and it was funny because we even talked religion a little bit earlier, and a lot of times you see people use measures, and that's not only in that aspect, but people utilize the fear as a control tactic. Like they build off of fear. So I'm posing the question of why is fear a preferred measure by most when it comes to controlling others? I want y'all to think about this now. I'm gonna give y'all a little pause. I want y'all to think about this because this gets deep. People do this, that they use fear to kind of manipulate or control a situation or people, situations and people. So I want to know, why do y'all think this is done this way? Why is fear a preferred measure for controlling others? I ain't got to give y'all too long now because y'all had the goddamn questions. So y'all had time to think about this.
I ain't read none of them goddamn questions, nigga.
Yeah, I know Matt don't. Matt, when I send him to Matt, he don't neither because he like me. Like, I'm one of them people too. Personally, I don't like to do that neither. Like if you send me the questions, I wouldn't look at them neither. Only because like I kind of like I always say I think you get the most honest and my genuinest thought when I don't have to dwell on it too long. Because sometimes, now don't get me wrong, there are certain things that require you to think a little bit more on or think things out. But I have a lot of conversations with people, so I'm a little more sharper kind of than most because I do a lot of these conversations all the time. You know what I'm saying? So usually it ain't really too much that could come up that I haven't already had a conversation about. So I personally don't really like to have the questions pre-forward neither because I'm kind of sharp like that. I think it's more organic. Like as soon as you give me the question, I like to be like, hold up, all right, and give you the answer right there. But I know I got some guys, man. I know some guys who they like you to send it to them and they like to dwell on it and build and get their thoughts together and do that. So that's why I send them out. Because I know some people like to build and they like to know what they're going into. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a teach his own thing. You know what I'm saying? Some people like it, some people don't. Because when I asked Matt earlier too, when I had talked to him, he was like, "Man, I don't look at them questions, man." He's like, "I just skim it, man." He's like, "You know how I do." And I was like, "Yeah, he like me."
I skim the fuck out of them shits and close my goddamn text.
Okay, but this question, I want you to apply some thought to it since you skimmed it. I want you to apply some thought now. So I'm gonna come to you last because I know you skimmed it. So I'm gonna start with Big Dave this time. Big Dave, why is fear a preferred measure for controlling others? Talk to me, brother.
All right, so I mean, fear, it controls a lot of situations in the aspect of some people's afraid of heights, some people's afraid to be out on the lake. It prevents them from doing those things because they are afraid. So, why wouldn't the government use fear? Why wouldn't other people use fear and aspects to control other people? It's like people that murder. If they implemented the death penalty more instead of giving people meals, a place to stay, no life, or paying bills, the rest of their life, if you instantly about to go die, that would make you think a little bit more about killing somebody versus being able to be freed up of all your financial troubles. Ain't got to worry about a meal the rest of your life, and the house, they can have it. You know what I mean? Like fear.
That's crazy though, because I always said that, right? Like even with the idea, I used to always say this, like with the idea of why people would do things and why people would try to get over on people and do certain stuff like that. If people saw the instant consequence, I'm talking about the instant consequence, where you don't try to, like, say, if a motherfucker kills somebody and we can prove it, we prove that he killed somebody. If they instantly just killed him, I think it'll make a lot of people rethink what they do. And we don't even have to be that extreme. Let's say if you slept with a woman and instantly, as soon as you slept with that woman, instantly, the baby was here tomorrow.
Damn.
Now, fuck 9 months, fuck all that other stuff, preparation, fucking about. No, you slept with that woman unprotectedly on the 18th, boom, the 19th, the baby right there. As soon as you go to call her again, whang, the baby there. Instant. I think if people had instant consequence, it would make a lot of people get in order very, very quickly. Because you know you don't have time to maneuver, you don't have time to adjust. You know, like, if I do whatever that's considerably to be wrong, if you think it's wrong, I'm going to be met with it immediately. I always said that. I said, I think if people do that, people will change immediately too, because their consequences are immediately. I think the number one factor in people is because people believe they can get away with things. That's why people even try things. They try the things that they try.
So do you think consequences should put fear in people?
It does. I wouldn't say that it should. I think consequences should just bring more of a better understanding, right? And this is what I mean by that. So when I talk to my children, I don't believe in right or wrong. Like, I don't. I believe things are, and I believe in people having an understanding of what it is, and I teach from a consequential situation. See, I don't have to tell my child they do something. No, you wrong for that. No, I'm not gonna tell you wrong, because I don't think that telling somebody they wrong or right does anything. I think that's just bullshit. But I will explain to you, hey, you know, since you did that, these are the measures that follow behind it. Like I'll use this example. Say if my child got to get up to go, we got to go somewhere in the morning. My child say, well, Daddy, I don't want to go to bed. I want to stay up. Okay. You're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't give a fuck if you don't go to sleep at all. You're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Whether you go to bed at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or don't go to sleep at all. You're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, when 6 o'clock comes, if I got to fight with you and battle with you because you tired, I'm tired. Now we have a problem, and now I'm going to take away your choice factor from it. I'm going to say, no, this is what you're going to do now, because you have shown me that you can't make a good decision for your betterment, because I told you what you had to do. It ain't no different than us as adults, right? You know you got to go to work at a certain time, and you say you want to go to the club or to the bar. You know your ass got to be to work at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, but you want to hang out at the club 2 or 3 o'clock. You know you got to go to work. So you're going to have to play a game. Either you're going to call out or you're going to take care of your responsibilities. I teach from that measure. So not the measurement of it being a right or a wrong. Like, no. So consequences being bad, like, you might feel that it's bad because it's not something you want to happen to you. You get what I'm saying? Like, say if you somewhere, you talking shit to a person and the guy haul off and punch you in your face. Now, consequence was you running your mouth, he punch you in your face. They always say, you want to know the reason why people die? It's right under your nose. It's your motherfucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? So they always say, if you're doing something and something happens to you, it don't have to scare you. It don't have to look at it as bad. But you can't stop what's going to naturally happen. You get what I'm saying? So if you do something, this is just the result of it. And it could be bad or it could be good, however you want to look at it. But this is the measure of it. So I don't believe it has to be bad. I think you just have to have an understanding of it. And that's how I approach it. Because I don't believe in right or wrong. I tell people all the time, I'm not a moral person. Right and wrong to me is bullshit. I think people need to understand what they're doing. If a woman is choosing to be a hoe, sleep with a bunch of people, I think it's best for me to break down and understand her where her life gonna end up. I don't have to tell her she wrong. You ain't wrong, but you gonna mess around and get pregnant. You're gonna have these kids. Now you're gonna be hard. It's gonna be harder for you. You're gonna have all these kids. You're gonna raise them by yourself. I prefer giving you the reality of it. Like I tell my kids all the time, because I have kids and I see how hard it is trying to balance and work and all this other stuff. Got to work all the time, tie your schedule up. I tell my kids all the time, hey, especially my sons. I like, hey man, you might want to hold off on that, brother. You might want to be very cautious. You might want to throw some condoms on. You know what I'm saying? You might want to keep that shit wrapped up, because when you start having these kids, it's going to alter the way you choosing to live.
Right. Because
now you don't have the freedom. So I'm not going to say it's good or bad, but I will tell you what you're going to lose in the process. So that's what I do.
I think that's smart.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't do the right and wrong shit or positive and negative. I just teach you the results. Like, nah, bro, hey, if you're doing something wild, expect these type of results. It's no different than this, right? Say if somebody want to gangbang, you want to join the gang. We all know, or sell drugs. We all know typically you only going to have about 2 options. Prison, death. I'm just going to point out your options. All right. Those who typically walk this path end up dead or they end up in jail. Now, I'll let you determine whether you want to see this as a good or a bad. I'm just going to tell you what it is. Now, if you think going to jail is a bad thing, then guess what you're going to say? Nope, that's bad. I ain't going to do it. If you think going to prison is bad or being killed is bad, then you're going to make the decision on your own. I don't have to tell you that it's bad. I'm going to let you decide. You tell me where you want to end up. If you don't mind dying, I guess it ain't as bad for you then. I kind of want to live here a little while. I want to see grandkids. Personally, I want to see some great grands. So to me, it wouldn't be a good idea, but that's not for me to tell you. That's for you to have an understanding and you decide.
That's right.
I want to see my grands with you too. You know, my nephews, my great nieces and nephews. Because I ain't having none.
Boy, we know you ain't trying to have no kids at all. So who was we on? I think we was on Dave. Yeah, Dave said something. Yeah, Dave said something that had registered with me, so I had chimed in. Dre, what's up, man? Why is fear a preferred measure for controlling others?
Because that's the only way how people understand shit. You know, it's by fear. Like you said, consequences and brute force. You know?
He went straight in.
Damn, that's the only way people understand.
That's the only way how people understand shit. You know, like earlier you said something about somebody killing somebody and getting the death penalty. You know, that's okay. For example, if somebody commit a crime, it don't necessarily be killing nobody. It can be, stealing or abuse, anything. Mm-hmm. Instead of you just going to jail or going to prison, you get to eat 3 times a day, having cell phones and all that bullshit. I've been saying for years, I think they should take jail and prison back to the chain gang. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, if you take it back that way, I think people will think twice about committing certain crimes.
Wait. You mean like railroad?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you should go back to that shit. Cause prison got too comfortable for a lot of people.
Damn,
it really did. It really did.
Damn. Okay, I don't disagree though. Okay. Okay. Zach, what you think about that, man? Why is fear a preferred measure for controlling others, man?
I'm with Dre. That shit works. That shit works. I'm just saying. You see it in everything. Fear of being fired. All right. Fear of going to hell in whatever religion. I mean, it's bullshit.
That's like the most easiest answer somebody could say. Yo, because the shit works.
It works. It works.
I love it, yo. I fucking love it. Chef Joe, man, what you think, man? Why is fear a preferred measure of controlling others, man? Why you think this, man?
I mean, I ain't nothing else to add, but I mean, I agree. And look at the history. It's history. Like they've been using that shit since the beginning of time, basically. So I mean, I agree with everything.
So yeah, I don't disagree. I think just like Zach said, because it works. Fear is an innate emotion, which means you naturally have it. You know what I'm saying? You've been born with it. Naturally, we all have fear. And I think when you become to a placement where you learn how to manipulate somebody's natural emotion. I'm gonna say that again. When you have grown to a place and you have learned how to manipulate someone's natural emotion, don't that sound God-like? Don't that sound like some God shit? That I have learned how to manipulate your natural state. Come on, man. I think that when you get to that point, it works.
Logically speaking, is that good? That somebody can manipulate me? Hell no.
It depends on the perspective. So for the person who's doing the manipulating, they would say that's good.
It is good, yeah.
For the person who's being manipulated, you're gonna say no, that's bad. So it just depends on which side you on.
What if you were manipulated for, let's say, 10 years? 10 years of being manipulated. And then you finally, just open your eyes and see things for what they really are. Would you say that's godlike too?
Yes, because I think control lives within God. Listen, I think the church does that. I'm gonna just be honest. I think a lot of that lives in that same concept. So, because I'm gonna be honest, even when I was a child, I used to always think church was stupid. I always thought, I was like, this shit's stupid. Like, I don't understand this. This is dumb. Like, and then when I started getting older, and then I started reading a lot more and diving into certain shit. Like, even when it comes to the concept of people speaking in tongues, a lot of people don't even do this correctly. Because when a person speaks in tongues and they say God tapped into, you're supposed to, after you speak in tongues, you're supposed to actually go back to tell people what was the message.
It's supposed to be an interpreter.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. It's almost like being a median. You supposed if you go through that whole shamalahada, all that bullshit. When you go through that, you're supposed to actually come back. Once you get straight and you close that line of that speed dial transition, you're supposed to explain to other people what was this, versus people just making a show.
And it's like, not jibber jabber. It's not jibber jabber. It's a whole nother language. And other people in the audience speaks that language, they will understand the message. That's biblical understanding of what tongues is, and nobody goes by it.
Nope. That's why I said, because at that moment you're being used as a vessel. You're usually being used as an interpreter, but nobody does it. It's just bullshit.
Nobody's hearing God.
No.
I'm
most of the time when people, I always say when I hear people say, yo, I talk to God, the first thing I say, I was like, yo, so what did you come up with? And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you talk to God, what you came up with? They were like, what do you mean? What did I come up with? I said, well, technically, man, when I look at you, I see God myself. So I want to know, if you talk to yourself, I want to know, what did you come up with? How did you reconcile whatever that you was dealing with? What did you figure out? How did you put your context clues, whatever it is? What was the solution you came up with? How did you evaluate your situation, and what was your solution? What did you come up with? They be like, well, I talk, because when you start telling me, because it's like this, it's either it was by design or you're walking the free will part. And if it was by design, then I think everybody just need to shut the fuck up at this point then. Because if it was by design, if this nigga became a serial killer, it was by design. God made him that way. He made him to kill 48 people. That's how it was. It was by design. He didn't have a choice in the matter. Because if it was by design, that means your choices don't matter. That means it was written this way, and this is what you were supposed to do. You're following the script, just like a movie.
Romans 9.
It was by design. Now, if you tell me y'all got free will, it's a different conversation now. Now I'm like, oh, okay, so now I got to go back to it. So what did you decide? I always tell people, in life, it's only two things that you got: choices and trade-offs. And what people don't realize is a lot of times the choices you make typically sets up your trade-off. That's all you got. And that's why I said if people will learn how to be more accountable, then they will understand the God that they really are. No, you know what you did, and you know how you set things into play. That's the key. See, the real key, I think there's a lot of gods out here. I think a lot of people just not ready for the power. So that's what I would tell somebody building them up. Now, I'd be like, no, brother, you God. but you ain't ready to embrace your Godship. That's why you choose to hide like a coward. No, you all that. Embrace your responsibility. Understand that what you touch, what you can bring life to something and you can bring death to something. But you have to understand you can do that. If you ain't willing to understand it, then you just gonna make a whole bunch of fucked up shit, ruin a bunch of shit, and nobody gonna take place. And then we're gonna blame something else other than you. Everything is accountability.
I like that.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So, preferred measure. Who we on now? Who went? Chef Joe, you went?
Yeah, everybody went.
Everybody went, Dre? Boom, boom, boom. Everybody, okay, so we on me. Yeah, well, I was giving mine. Yeah, so, yeah, like I said, it works. It wouldn't be done if it wasn't successful. I mean, it clearly is successful. Like how you see it in jobs. You see it's because really, if you think about it, it's all about leveraging, and that's really all it is. It's just leverage. And if somebody has certain beliefs or they have certain needs or certain desires, and if you use proper leverage, you can control the masses. I used to always say this. Matter of fact, I'm about to be 36 now. I used to say about 10 years ago, because this is when I was more heavier in my studies from my mid-20s. I used to be like, yo, the guy who created this religion concept was a motherfucking genius. Because it's a concept that you can never get beyond. And it will always hold its weight.
Right.
And honestly, I like it. Because you have to be strong enough and have to have a certain way of thinking to be able to, get past. See, I believe that I do understand that most people will always be followers naturally because leadership doesn't live in most. But I think that you do have a placement where you can lead your own life and make your own choices. And I don't believe in people allowing other people to make the choices for them. So that's why I'm a big, advocate for pushing people to have a proper understanding of who they are. Because once you understand who you are, I think you could tap into this godship a lot more easier. I think you can really learn how to manipulate the things you need to manipulate to make things go your way in your life. Even the women, a lot of y'all guys be talking to. For those who ain't married, I know my people at the top married, but hey, you can learn how to manipulate a lot of shit, man. Once you understand and learn how to accept your godship, man.
Right.
Y'all won't let these women run over you. You gotta learn how to manipulate. And if somebody had to ask, is manipulation bad? It just depends on perspective. See, I've got to the point in life, man. Everything in life is just perspective. It's bad for some, good for others. Which side you want to be on? It's just like being a victim. Do you want to be the victim or do you not? I do believe you have a choice. Right? One of the reasons why I chose the path of martial arts because I don't like bullying. And the idea of being vulnerable and a motherfucker beating my ass was just not acceptable to me. It's all about how you treat it. So I made sure I was to a point where no matter what we face with, I can handle myself adequately and I have no fear. I took what was a fear and choose to be triumphant with it. That's all I did. But hey, man, that's all we got right there, guys. Which y'all, that wasn't too hard for y'all, is it? That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
That wasn't too. It wasn't too, right? We ain't rubbed nobody the wrong way, did we?
Nah.
When we start rubbing people the wrong way, I'm gonna have to hire an HR manager. Let people go make some complaints, man. They be like, man, I ain't like the way Kev talked to me on the panel that night, man. I got a little pissed off. We'll hire an HR manager to make sure we sort things out. But if everybody, all right, we ain't got to hire HR manager. We ain't got to fill out no HR reports. Everybody on the up and up.
We're good.
All right, man. So y'all know how we do this, man. It ain't changed since we started this. Whenever people on, I like for people to run their plugs. I know a lot of people, we live in a social media era, and then just what people do. So let people know, what y'all do, because a lot of people got different Instagrams, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, a lot of other stuff. Let the people know what y'all got going on, where they can find you, and whatever, all that other good stuff, man. Chef Joe, I'm gonna start with you because you used to this, and this is what you do. Let's go. Where they can find you, man? What you got going on out here in these streets?
You can find me at Chef Joe with the Pots 2 on Instagram as well as TikTok. Cooking with Chef Joe on YouTube. Right now I ain't got nothing going on, but I'm working on more cooking videos and about to start posting more, cooking content. So check that out real soon.
Okay. Dre, man, let the people know what you got going on, man, where they can find you.
Yeah, man, y'all can follow me on Instagram at D_Notorious Dre. And you can add me on Facebook at Dre Ocho, DREOCHO.
Okay. Big Dave, man, let the people know what you got going on and where they can find you.
I'm working on some things right now. All mine's pretty much under wraps at this particular time, but definitely will be popping out with something. Just stay tuned to the channel. Whenever you have me back, maybe I'll have something for the people next time.
Yes, sir. Zach, man, let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on.
The same way. All I do is work, man. I be working. I ain't nowhere. I'm here, but you know.
Oh yeah, man. A lot of people who come up, man, they'll tell you right now, because everybody who come up, man, I know personally, man. Like I know all the brothers, I know everybody, and like me, I'm an introverted type of guy, man. And when it comes to this thing right here, only thing I really do is only social media you can find me on is YouTube. So if you go on the link, you're gonna definitely have to hit the email if you're trying to contact me. You know what I'm saying? I don't do different things. I've appeared on other shows before too, out here in the YouTube streets too. I have made some appearances, but yeah, if you got to find me, man, you just got to hit the email. You find me. I'm really not into social media like that, and I work a lot, and it's very difficult to just be out here doing a lot of the different stuff. So, hey, man, until the next time, we are out, people. Peace.
Peace.